So let's take a look at the student module. Student records carry a lot of information, from standard details such as names and addresses, right through to medical and funding records. There is so much important information that you need to store against a student. With SchoolPod, we place all of a student's information in one location, making the management and distribution super easy. When you head over to the student module, you'll instantly be met with a complete list of all the students currently on roll. This list is fully customizable, but by default, the student's name and their preferred name are listed. If we click the Select Columns button, a list of options appear. Here you can select additional columns to be added to the list of students. Once you are happy with the selection, click the Confirm button and the list is loaded with the requested columns. This can then be filtered further with a full range of options from the Filters page. At any stage, the list can be exported or printed using the relevant buttons. This allows you to get the list as a spreadsheet that can then be printed. So let's take a look at a student record. If we select a student and click Edit, the student's record is displayed. As you can see, you have access to all the students' recorded data right at your fingertips. The first thing to note is the attendance percentage displayed both next to the student title and in the Attendance tab. This value is the student's attendance percentage for the entire academic year. It displays green if the percentage is above 95% and red if below. Beneath this are the student's basic details. These are fundamental pieces of data for the student and are used to reference the student in a number of ways throughout the system. The first tab is where you will find notes and files. This versatile and flexible section allows you to add quick, short or more detailed notes to the student's profile. Notes added can be categorized with a note type defined by you. These notes can be downloaded and printed at any point simply by clicking the Print Notes button. This compiles all the notes into a file stating the date and time each note was added next to the content of the note. This section is not merely limited to notes, as files of all types can be added too. Say the student has a certificate saved as a PDF file. The file can be uploaded to the student's profile, then be accessed simply by clicking the link in the list. Notes and Files allows for any type of file to be uploaded, be it spreadsheets for past data to MP3s for music coursework. They can all be uploaded and accessed whenever needed. Moving along to the Grades tab, we see a list of all the assessments that this student has taken through their time at the school. This list can be quickly filtered and display a specific year via the Academic Quick filter. If we click on the subject link for one of the assessments, the grade cards are loaded for that student and subject. The next tab is the Parents tab, where all the contact details for the student's parents can be logged. The parent's address, phone numbers, email address, and any additional notes can be stored. If the postcode is recorded, by clicking the See Map link, Google Maps is opened with the location set to match the postcode. Specific contact information is also used by the system for contacting the parents. This information can be stored without the system using it, simply by clicking the Do Not Contact Parent option. The wording will now flash red and the listing will be highlighted to point out that this parent is not to be contacted. The Contacts tab can be used to log any additional contacts that the student may need listing. We can specify the type of contact by entering the value into the text box next to type, or by selecting one of the existing types. The Context tab logs 4 sections of details. Background lists details such as the language the student speaks through to the current asylum status. It should be noted that if a warning value is entered into the corresponding text box, the student will have the value displayed at the top of the page for teachers to be aware of when they load the student's profile. The legal section comprises of a selection of legal details, whilst the personal section holds details relevant to the student such as any special educational needs they may have. If the student has successfully acquired points, then the student can spend them in the shop. The purchase history will be summarised in the Shop tab. The name of the items purchased, the cost of the item, and date purchased are stated accordingly. Any physical details about the student can be placed within the Physical tab. Details such as hair and eye colour can be added. A detailed list of height and weight can also be depicted in this section. Moving on to the Medical tab, conditions and details specific to the student can be saved here. At the bottom of the section, doctor's details can be listed too. Again, note that setting the medical condition to Y adds a medical condition flag to the top of the screen. Details of behaviours can be stored in the Next tab, which is particularly useful for SEND schools. The Household tab details some specific information. Here we have the sibling information list. If the student has a sibling that also attends the school, they can be linked to them by clicking the Add button and selecting their name from the drop-down. We then select the sibling type and click Save. An alert appears just letting us know that by saving this data, it will also appear on the corresponding siblings page. We confirm this, and as you can see, the sibling is added to the list. The siblings' profiles are now linked, and by clicking the name of the sibling, their profile is then loaded in place of the original student's profile. The class list within the Next tab is populated through class imports in the Admin menu. Additional classes can be added manually by clicking the Add Class button. Classes can also be removed from the list, which will remove any affiliation the student had to that class. By clicking the View Timetables link, the student's timetable is opened so you can see a timetable view of the scheduled lessons. Any categories that the student is a part of are listed in the Categories tab. Students can be added and removed from the categories in the list simply by ticking and unticking the related checkboxes. The Enrolment and Exit tab details the initial information related to the student starting at the school, a list of previous schools the student may have attended, any subjects or activities that require parental permission, and should the student leave the school, then the date they left and the reason for leaving can also be recorded here. If the student partakes in any provisions, they can be found here under the Provisions tab. Again, all provisions can be added, edited and deleted from this location. For more information on provisions, see the Provisions video on our Features page. In the next tab, we see a list of attendance data. Anytime a student is registered with an attendance status other than a present or authorised absence, the registration is logged here. Looking at this student's record, we can see they were marked as late by 5 minutes to their AM registration on the 3rd of April. So whenever a student is late or has not attended a registration period, you can rest assured that they will be logged within each student's profile and can be reviewed at any time. Certain students may receive funding whilst attending your school, so we've added a tab to log these details. Their funded hours, learner support codes and more can be saved here with the Manage menus. We also have options to specify funding and monitoring, list learning deliveries, and record any learner support the student may require. Finally, we have the Communication tab. This is a complete list of any emails and text messages that have been sent from the system to the student or their parent. So by clicking on this tab, you are able to instantly see the outbox filtered specifically for this student. This is a great way to monitor interactions between staff, students and their parents. If we now return to the student list and select the student we were just looking at, there is the option to print a cover sheet. Again, you are given customization options allowing you to select each section from the student's record that you want to print. When happy with your selection, we click Print and your system's print dialog will be displayed, allowing you to further customize your printout.